The event is starting, and it is official now. I am live here. First off, hello everybody. Well, let me actually, I'm going to wait a little bit. Peak concurrent 1. I think that means one person is watching. Let me just see analytics. If you're watching here, don't be too alarmed. I'm just getting things set up for everything to start. Let me see analytics here. One concurrent viewer. That means one person is watching. Hello, I'm live. So let's see. The last thing I want to do, if I can find, if I didn't screw up the thing, was just get the chat room thing going. So anybody who is so inclined wants to chat with me. Let me pop it up. Pop out chat. Let's just open with Chrome just once. Live chat pop out. And I wish there was a way I could make bigger text on this little tablet so I could see it easily. I don't think that's going to happen. Not send feedback. No. Okay. Well, I'm just going to wait maybe 1 or 2 more minutes just to let everybody get hold here. If you're tuning in live now, obviously, you're seeing a whole bunch of stuff around here. That's what I set up. I got sauce over there, hot water over here, pasta maker there, some ingredients and junk over here. And that's pretty much it. No comments as of yet, but then again, there's only 1 or 2 people watching at the time. Let's play around a little bit more with this. Let's turn the preview thing off because I don't want the previews up because I'm actually doing it. But as you've seen before, I am going to be making some more pasta on this show. On this live edition of Bryno's World. I'm going to be making homemade ravioli. And it's now 8 o'clock, so I'll officially say hello, welcome everyone to another episode of Bryno's World Live. I'm live. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Yes, I did. But anyway, I'm crazy. But I'm not crazy enough to screw up, or maybe I am, because I'm going to try and make some homemade ravioli, as the title above indicates. As you can see, I'm pretty much set up already. Now, I will make a little confession for the sake of brevity and for the sake of not boring the crap out of you. I have pre-made quite a handful, actually not a trio of ingredients in advance. First is right over there, the sauce. Taking another homemade sauce, it's almost exactly identical. Well, it's similar to the one that I made a couple weeks ago live, except there's no cream cheese, just to be straight marinara. There is a change, however, in the type of tomatoes that I used. Normally, I just use regular canned plum tomatoes. Oh, we got a chat here. Oh my goodness. Joe Masluk, and I'm assuming Michelle is there as well. One or both of you. And you're saying, waiting to hear the wine pairing. Well, if you know what kind of beverages I'm into, that's likely not going to happen. But anyway, one of the ingredients that's going into that marinara sauce, like I said before, normally I use just regular plum tomatoes out of a can. This time, however, I decided to do something really exquisite and use bona fide, genuine San Marzano tomatoes. These are like the creme de la creme of tomatoes, actually picked and processed in Italy. I think it's actually in a city called San Marzano, if I can read the label correctly. Packed in Italy by some company. I'm assuming these are from a town called San Marzano. But this can, this 28-ounce can of tomatoes cost me $5, whereas a normal can this size costs maybe a little bit over $1. So I figured, why not see how it improves my sauce, if at all. Also in advance, I said I made 3 things in advance of the sauce. I also made the raw dough in advance. This is not really a tedious process, but I'm going to go through the flattening motion here. I also made the filling in advance as well. This is just a straight up, let's get a zoom into this. I don't know how good that looks because I can't see the screen. Back up a little bit. This is just a filling of ricotta cheese and 1 egg. Now, wasn't sure exactly, excuse me. This is what happens when I do stuff live. I trip over my own words. I usually edit this stuff out, but anyway. This is ricotta cheese, about half of a container, and 1 egg. Every single recipe I saw online when doing the research for this stuff uses an egg for filling, whether it's either cheese or meat, whatever. My guess is that it's because the egg might help firm it up a little bit after it's done cooking, but it is kind of, well, it's not really firm right now, but I think it'll get firmer once it's cooked, which means it won't squish out or slide out of the ravioli once that's done. So that's this stuff here. Now let's see if we've got any more people watching live right now. Yeah, not a whole lot, but anyway, whether you're watching this live or on regular YouTube, thanks for coming in. But anyway, let's get started with the ravioli. Another side note, this is the attachment for the ravioli maker. I've actually never used this. I haven't used this since the last time I went live, so if I screw up, it's going to be live and there's going to be no way around it. Gulp. So anyway, I'm going to leave it off just for the beginning. So first let me move the camera into position. A little bit of jumbling will happen. And you can see my exquisite stand. As you can see, I've also changed my setup just a little bit. I've moved my pasta maker a little bit from here to here. There's a reason for that, but I'll get into that later. But first, let's start flattening the dough out. First off, I want to say to Michelle and Joe Maslak, does this thing look familiar to you at all? Put an answer down in the chat. But anywho, let's flatten this out a little bit. I'm going to do the same deal I did last time. Flatten this out until it's nice and wide and such. And oh, there's a little bit of that mess. That happened last time. I think the dough is not as damp as it was before, but it just happened. It's part of the process, I think. Either that or I need to add some more flour. That might be it too. Yeah. But that's why I have this stuff. Some of the viewers have said before, this is a labor-intensive process, but I think the product is definitely worth it. You also gotta have patience. And meh, it's still breaking up. I'm going to keep folding this until I get a nice, even sheet. Just going to massage this a little bit. Let all the glutens come together. No, that's not what I wanted to do. So there's that. Bada, 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 boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Realest ravioli in the room. How you doing? There we are. That's looking a little bit better. I think adding a little bit of flour as I go on is helping out a lot. Incidentally, also, if anybody's got any questions or just want to make comments or wisecracks or whatever, put it in the chat, please. That is if you're watching live. If you're not watching live, leave a comment. But I save that business to the end. So anyway, let's continue flattening it out. Now, it's happening again, but you know what? I think I'll let it go for a little bit. Now, for this stuff, I don't really mind if there's a bit of an edge or a flaky edge on the outside. And I'll show you why once I'm done. It has something to do with these things. But I'll put that there for the moment. Let's see, Joe Meslak says, San Marzano tomatoes are worth it. Why should the pasta maker look familiar? Well, I don't know if you would know, but this pasta maker used to be my father's. But he hadn't used it in 30 years, so I have it now. And as you can see, I'm making, or trying to make the most out of it. For those who don't know, I've got family members that are watching this thing, so yeah, I'm one of those guys, so who cares? But anyway, I reckon if this crank turns out really, really good, I'll move ahead. And I'm not really sure about this one. Let's see. I'm gonna call that good. So now let's start thinning it out, while at the same time giving it a flour dusting, just to keep it all dry as what it could be. Is it on number 2? Yes, it's on number 2. Now, last time I thinned the pasta out into level 5. One recipe that I've seen for ravioli, though, says to do it until it's paper thin, so I might go up a level and do level 6. And there's a strip of dough. I'm just going to put off the camera there. And a bit more of that stuff there. Level 3 now. Ah, crap. I've got junk taking up space, so get that out of the way. And now there's that. Joe Meslak said he never made pasta for us. Well, I don't know why that doesn't surprise me, but yeah. If I ever come down to, well, wherever you guys are at now, I'll see what I can do. I don't know if I'll pack this, but we'll see. Either way, this is what it looks like. But the story is my dad got this, I think, maybe a year after I was born. At least the package said 1982. He used it at our old house, but once we moved to a new place in this area, he didn't really use it for 30 years, so just took up space. Is this a special type of flour? Nope, this is just regular, all-purpose, unbleached flour. I know the proper pasta uses some other type of flour. I think it's called semolina flour, I want to say. But I've never had bad results just using regular flour. I've been meaning to try semolina one of these times, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen or not. Well, maybe not ever, but if I ever think about it. Let's just say that. So let's turn the crank to number 5. Get the flour out of the way. So here we go. Here we go. Oh, man, this is getting paper thin. Maybe, you know what? I may have to call an audible and say that level 5 here is just perfect. In fact, it's extending beyond the borders of my wax paper, which isn't maybe not. Crap. Well, yeah, I'm just gonna deal with this as is. I don't know if you can see that or not, but let's just turn it a little bit. Yep, that's how long the piece of dough is, just for reference. 1 arm length, or forearm length, 2 forearm lengths roughly. Maybe a yard of pasta, I want to say. And so now the next step would be to attach this bugger to there. Let's see if I can get the focus back on the pasta maker itself. Let's put this on here, get that crank on there. Now what's going to happen is, at least in theory, if I can get this working, I'm going to put the dough in here. It's going to fold over, flow over both ways, while I spoon feed the ravioli into this. And this little crimping device is going to just, in theory, crimp out little pieces of ravioli, spit them out. It could be a bit of an operation since there's going to be dough on this side. I think that's how it's supposed to work. I'm kind of apprehensive at the moment because I've never done this before, but we shall see. But as you can see, obviously, though, also, the dough is a lot wider than this hopper. Oh, is it in backwards? Yeah, it's in backwards. But the dough is wider than this feeder. That's where this little cookie cutter comes in. So now, if I can do this correctly. Right. There we go. Let's chop it off at the other end with a pizza cutter. So let's take these strips out. Might make another something with that, I don't know. So anyway, let's zoom out a little bit. Actually, no, it's not. This is making me nervous. Again, because I've never done this before. Let's see. Yeah, I think that looks just about right. Let me see. This is where I'm getting concerned, scared, and not sure what's going on here. I think at this point I'm supposed to add the ricotta filling. Well, at the same time I'm going to crank up the heat on the water. Stir up the marinara. For those of you just joining me, I've already gone through the motions of rolling the pasta, as you can see, and right now you're looking at the pasta contraption with the ravioli device on it. And looking at the things, I think I made way too much filling. But let's spoon it in here. And hope that this works. Maybe a little more. I think I'll just fill it until it's almost totally full. My worry is I might not have enough dough, but anyway. Here we, all right. Here we go. This is where we either succeed or fail. All right. In the words of Lando Calrissian, here goes nothing. Nope, hasn't caught on yet. Let's encourage it a little bit. Or maybe it helps if I crank it the right way. Maybe I should have done something beforehand. feel good. Did I fail? Was this going to be an epic fail? Oh, it's still in one piece. I thought I felt a little bit of grinding. Actually, I was trying to push that in with the spoon. Wait a minute, let's see. Well, first off, I can, let's see here. It's leaking out through the sides, but let's see. Maybe this needs a little bit of encouragement. Or maybe I should have crimped it up beforehand. All right, let's try this again. Take 2. You know what, let's try a knife instead. And that's my PlayStation going crazy in the background, or turning off. And let's see, did I puncture anything? Yeah, I punctured a hole in there. Or maybe, is this even incorrectly? Well, we may have an epic fail here for our first, or my second live episode. Or is this even in the right way? No, I don't think it is. I think it's in the right way. You know what? Take a step back and put some of the ricotta back in. And hopefully this isn't a lesson in failure. Because as the Mythbusters say in live stream, in their stuff, failure is always an option. So let's see if we can't at least, let me get a little purchase here. I'll waste a little bit of dough for that, but you know what? At this rate, I think that's acceptable. Let me get a plastic spoon for this one, just to be a little more delicate. Wait a minute, did this stick? Alright, I think one side's feeding in, other side's feeding in too, so let's get a little bit of that out of there. That's coming out the wrong side, but it's better than nothing, so hopefully, maybe that's what I should have done in the first place. So you're seeing me fail in making, well not fail, but struggling trying to make this stuff. But anyway, now that I got a little bit fed in there, let's get some fillings in there. And I'll try this. What am I doing? This is looking disgusting. Well, Maybe not a total failure. Let's put a little bit more in there. I don't know what I'm doing right now, as is painfully obvious. But I think this will be enough to get... Wait a minute. Yeah, look at that. There we go. That's ravioli, I think. It ain't the prettiest ravioli, but it's ravioli. And it's made an incredible mess of the maker, so let's get that in the sink before things get worse. So after a few missteps, it looks like we have our stuff here. And I learned a few things. I think I did at least, but anyway. Anyway, look it down, add that. Yeah, I don't know if that's nice or messy or whatever, but yeah. I'm also wondering if maybe next time I should cook this egg mixture a little bit next time. Or maybe use a larger, maybe not use a, or just, maybe not use as much ricotta as last time. But anyway, let me do a little bit of tidying up. Put that into separate that into pieces. And then we'll put it into our boiling water. I think these are garbage pieces. And they are garbage. So are these bits at the end. I gotta get another paper towel. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize if this is the most boring thing you've ever seen. Things don't exactly go to plan all the time, as it is the case with live video. But actually, it would have helped if I had paid attention in class that one day. So I'm not sure what to do here. I'll get a bowl here. Maybe these things were to... I'll separate these by hand, or try to at least, without destroying them. Hindsight, I think maybe these were maybe not thin enough, or too, or yeah, not thin enough. So flustered, I'm screwing up the English language. I think, at the same time, I think I also forgot one step, which was to drain the ricotta cheese a little bit. I think I may have forgotten to do that, but, okay. I feel a little splooge coming out of this stuff here. Oh, this is, Bob the Raptor says, nice to see you back, Bryno. And John makes more than I thought it would. Well, let's see how much edible stuff this turns out. So, well, who knows? Maybe this stuff will turn out fine after I boil it. So, let's see. Yeah. Oh crap! We sprung a leak in another one. Again, these look nice. You know what? Heck with it. Screw it. I'm going to do the easy way. Pasta wheel. I don't care if there's grooves on this side. It doesn't matter. Pasta wheel. Pasta wheel. good as I can on the seams. Let's chop this up here. Apologize if I'm blocking the camera, but this is taking too long and I don't want to try to rip all these apart, so. Okay. This feels, oh, but I think I ripped this one up too. Now, I'm not sure where I screwed up on this, or if I even did. Some of these ravioli have sprung quite a sizable leak. Others have not. Again, this is the first time I've used this device, and I had a little bit of an issue with it. And again, maybe the ricotta was kind of, what was it? Scored like a little bit too loose, if you will. I think I'm going to be selective with the ricotta or the ravioli that I cook here. Or maybe just for the sake of hilarity and failure, I'll just dump the whole thing in there and just hope for the best and or the worst. Because, you know, funny failures are funny too. So anyway, here we go. Here is your ravioli. That looks to me like the least appetizing ravioli that is uncooked you've ever seen. Ricotta filling splurting all over the place. Quick poll here, should I cook all of these or just the best ones? I'll leave that there. Bob Rector says, are you going for a single serving? Pretty much. This, I use one quantity of dough and more ricotta and egg mixture than I needed. I think it also helps if I actually read the directions on how to use this thing. Oh, goodness. And let me see, the water is boiling. So you know what? Against, let's see, this is the one that was on the end, so I'm gonna just rip this one along the edge, put that in the junk one, and the rest, I think I'm just gonna, for the sake of hilarity, dump the whole thing in here and just hope for the best. Bob Rucker says all of them, cook them all. I agree with you. Again, I think the egg in here the ricotta filling might firm it up a little bit, so it might be a little less messy. But here we go. And for those of you who just joined us, obviously this is the water, and this is the marinara sauce made with, I think it's called, what's it called? San Marzano tomatoes, the best tomatoes that you can buy. That one little can there that you might not see it right there. That yellow can, $5. A normal can that size is about a little bit over $1, but tomatoes quality is high. But anyway, oh my goodness, I'm scared and I'm excited and scared about this. Will this work? Place your bets down below, folks. I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes. So, anyway, the maiden voyage of homemade ravioli in 3, 2, 1. They're sticking to the bowl. I'll throw the rest in by hand. Throw the rest in by hand. Quick, 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 quick. There we go. Okay, now, timer for 5 minutes. So let's get a close-up, if we can, on that pot here. Sorry for the noises, it's on my cheap frickin' tripod. Even though they are not pretty, they will taste good. I hope they do taste good, Bob. Joe Mazak says, did you use whole milk ricotta or low fat? I used low fat ricotta. That could, I don't know, that may have been part of the problem, I don't know. As you can tell from the profile on the side, I'm not exactly as slim and trim, so I wanted to be sort of good, but it could be a problem as well. So maybe I'll try that next time. But either way, so far it's like, they don't look terrible as far as cooking goes. But anyway, let's give them a bit of a stir. And ricotta cheese is spewing all over the place in the water, though not as gnarly as I thought they would be. I think I'll have to do a little more research, or maybe, as it pains me to say this, maybe I have to try to make these manually next time. But they're cooking up. Let's see here. Let's see. I think if any part of this tastes good, it'll be the sauce. With high quality tomatoes in my marinara recipe, that'll be the best part. But anyway, any new comments? Nothing. And once again, I want to thank everybody that's tuning in right now for actually tuning in. It means a lot. Thank you very, 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 very much. So now, the timer has 2 minutes and 45 seconds. So, Joe Maslak asked me what wine I would pair with this. Let me ask you, what wine would you pair with this? It's plain ravioli, ricotta with a little bit of egg, and some hopefully good quality marinara sauce. So, now me, I would just drink whatever beer was on hand. Something that would go good with like a tomatoey stuff. So, probably not an IPA, I would think. Something that will go well with fruits. But now I'm looking at it though, some of the ravioli don't look. I mean, the ones that haven't exploded are looking, pretty nice maybe. Just from my angle, they're looking not terrible. At the same time, I'm thinking I remember getting some ravioli like from the store, just from packaged ravioli. Some of them, the junk, the filling falls to the bottom of the pot as well, or falls out, slides out easily. So it's not totally, maybe not totally my thing's problem. I mean, sure, there's more I could learn, but anyway, it's bubbling and it's not the horror show that I thought it was going to be a few minutes ago. And some of them I think the original recipe called to drain the ricotta a little bit. I did not do that, so that's another thing I could have done properly next time. Let's see. Joe says you should fry them now. I thought about frying the ravioli, but I've got limited stove space here, and honestly, I don't think I have any oil. Well, I do have a bunch of extra virgin olive oil, but that's no good for deep frying. But yeah, the deep fried ravioli, that thought did cross my mind. But I didn't want to have too many burners going off at once, plus oil on one burner here, with water on the and watery stuff on the other side here. It could be a recipe for disaster. But anyway, that'll have to wait till later because I've only got a couple seconds left on the clock. There we go. Let's turn the camera over to the colander. And now let's turn the ravioli over in its water into the colander and dump it like so. Well, that wasn't nearly as much of a disaster as I thought it would be. So anyway, let's let that go for a little bit. Or maybe not. Boy, cleaning this up is going to be so much fun. Any more comments here? Joe was like, I can't repronounce any of that stuff. That sounds like fancy pants Italian wine. I'm not sophisticated enough for that. Bob the Raptor, fried, yep. The other extreme might be to bake. I think, doesn't Olive Garden have baked ravioli? I think I saw that online a few times. Haven't been to Olive Garden in years, but I think fried might be the best way to, other non-traditional way to do it is just maybe take these things as is, or maybe just before I cook them, maybe put them in some bit of egg wash and some panko, fry them up, and got some good stuff there. But if I make ravioli again, I hate to disappoint my dad, but I might have to forego this thing here and just try to make them by hand or find some like molds or whatever. But anyway, I think this is done. Draining a bit, so they're hot. That's kind of what happens when you touch hot ravioli. Burns your fingers a little bit. So anyway, I think this bowl, actually, you know what? Yeah, don't want to waste too many bowls. So anywho, that looks not as bad as I was afraid it would be. Some of it's still exploded, but I've had that before. So now let's go to the second to last step, which I'm going to turn this burner off, which I probably should have done a while ago. This is my homemade marinara sauce, which is almost identical to the sauce I made a couple weeks ago, just without the cream cheese, obviously, and with the San Marzano tomatoes. I let it simmer on the stove for a while. I had another incident, not really incident, but just something that happened. One, I forgot to get the tomato paste for this sauce, which is what I usually do just to thicken it up. And second, I usually drain the tomatoes, but these tomatoes I think were so, I don't know, was it fragile that they would break apart easily, and the liquid that I was in was kind of thick, so I poured it all in, everything into the food processor, blended it all up, and just let this on the stove to let it simmer and just thicken up naturally. So anyway, let's put a bunch of this stuff on it. And you know what? I think, given how hot this sauce is, literally just came off the stove, I'm going to let this cool for a few minutes. Put a little bit more in some strategic spots. Put that there. And let's get back into ready position. This is what it's like with a one-man crew here. I am Mr. Everything for this channel, and Bob, you would know that. You know the pain of this. So let's see. Joe Mazak says, and your dad had the patience to use this machine. Well, he used this part and this part. To the best of my knowledge, he never used this ravioli machine. Well, and the Bob the Raptor says looks good. Well, let's let this cool a little bit more, but let's see if I can get some good thumbnail material here. Something that just looks good. I can just take a picture of this. Let's see. If it tastes good, I can do this. Or if it's terrible, I could do this. Let's see. Were those good faces or whatever? Well, I don't have patience, so do that again. But anyway, I'm thinking just for the sake of maybe my patience and for my sanity, well, I may try this again, maybe not on camera, just so I can get the practice down. If and when I can get this process down, I'm tempting myself to make a series of this. Like I said last time, Will It Ravioli, putting some weird meats or soups, stews, or just other crazy things in there. Or maybe I could just do that like with the hand molds or whatever. That might be easier to do. But anywho, put that away, put this away. Well, let's take a look, feel this. It's still feel a little bit of steam coming off it, but you know what? I'm curious. I want to see how well this sauce tastes by itself. Using San Marzano tomatoes. And this is going to be hot, so I'll just blow on it a bit. Okay. I'll call that reasonably cooled down. So anyway, what's in this stuff? Again, San Marzano tomatoes. Let's see. 8 ingredients. Extra virgin olive oil. Couple garlic. Couple cloves of garlic. Salt. Basil. Oregano. Thyme. And there's one more thing I can't remember what it's. Oh, wait. Maybe it was normally the tomato paste, but I forgot to put that in there. So I think that's it, actually. Yep. Tomatoes, olive oil, garlic, salt, and those 3 spices that I mentioned. But anyway, one less blow. There's a joke there somewhere. So here we go. Hopefully high quality marinara sauce. Here we go. Oh my God. Yeah. San Marzano tomatoes are worth it. I might not make it like that for lunch every day, but if I want to treat myself up or if I'm treating the crowd, I'm definitely using that stuff. It's worth every penny. Let's try it hot. Actually not. Yes. This sauce is a winner. And with this sauce, with these kinds of tomatoes, I don't think I should add anything else to this. I think I got the recipe down pat. With these kinds of tomatoes, I'm not going to add meat to it. I'm not going to add cheese to it. As is, it's perfecto. And let's see if these ravioli bits you know what? I got it. Pop holder. Any comments? Yeah. And Hobo Nickel's here. Sorry you're late. Well, you're about to get to the best part. I'm about ready to taste my concoction, and since you just joined us late, I'll let you know it didn't exactly go according to plan. I used the ravioli machine here. As you can see, may not be able to see, there's filling spewing out here. I think I put too much in there. Plus the dough didn't get caught in the crimpers properly. I did do that bit correctly. It's just, and plus, some of the ravioli pieces just started plopping crap out of it. Just the ricotta mess out of it. But they didn't look too bad when I was boiling them. Not like normal store-bought raviolis where some bits were just would fall out and some stuff didn't. So anyway, I'm gonna pretend civilized and use a fork for this. Let's get a bit here. Does this have any filling in it? I'll get some with some filling in it. Here's one. Now, let's see. I think this is cooled down enough. So anyway, here goes nothing. Homemade ravioli, not exactly done correctly. Cheers. That one didn't have any filling in it. Let's find one that does. I think this one does. Cheers. Again, the sauce really saves this. The sauce is the king of this stuff here, of this dish. Let's try another piece here. Yep, the filling is still kind of on the runny side. I think I erred severely by not letting the ricotta drain. It was just a screw up on my part before I started filling. I was in such a rush to get everything done, get everything prepped up before shooting that I totally forgot to drain the ricotta. I had it in my mind to do it, so maybe that was part of the failure too. So, in the end, let's try another bite. Hobo Nickel says he'll restart later, watch from the beginning. Probably a good thing. But anyway, never goes to plan with Bob the Raptor and Hobo Nickel saying nothing ever works well right when you're doing it live. But that's also part of the charm of being live too. Anything can happen. There's, like the Mythbusters used to say on the old version, failure is always an option. And well, I wouldn't call this a total failure because, yeah, the ravioli didn't exactly go according to plan. But the sauce that I made beforehand was just, my goodness. San Marzano all the way. Yep. That might be all I have of that. I wish there was a way I could preserve all that sauce. Well, maybe I'll just eat the rest of it. Maybe just keep it in the fridge for drunk food or something. I don't know. Who knows? But this sauce, where's that spoon? I gotta have another bite of that sauce. That sauce is fantastic. San Marzano marinara sauce. Yeah, wow. That is beautiful stuff. Oh my goodness. So, actually I may take my words back. I might actually make a really expensive batch of that marinara sauce for lunch next week. Just because it's that good. It is that good. But anyway, I'll call my record on Bryno's World Live 1-1. The cream cheese fettuccine was a success. The ravioli, not so much, but I'd never tried it before. So anyway, on that semi-disappointing note, that will do it pretty much for the second episode of Bryno's World Live. Thank y'all for watching. And if you're not watching this live, if you've never seen the channel before, I can't even remember what the routine that I used to do was. Just don't forget to subscribe. Again, the wonders of doing stuff live. Let's see what else is there. We enjoyed watching, and now we are hungry. Gentlemen, this is Bob the Raptor says, "How are they without filling?" Well, I'm trying to think. Because the filling was kind of watery, I think it kind of squirted out the sides a little bit. So I think the filling I think needs to be a little more, let me think. Definitely not watery. It's got to be maybe more solid, maybe a little bit more viscous or whatever. So I'm thinking maybe next time if I do something like this, either do it the direction set and let the ricotta drain, or maybe cook it in advance just a little bit, just to get some of the liquid out and maybe solidify it a little bit. And of course, another thing I've seen is for meat ravioli, I think what they do is they cook the meat and then maybe mince it in the food processor along with. I'm also wondering, maybe the egg did more harm than good. I don't know. Anyway, that requires some more research. So let's see if I can remember the routine that I used to do for closing a video. I want to thank you all very much for watching for another episode of Bryno's World Live. Again, if you got ideas for things that I can do live, leave a comment, send an email, or just post on my Facebook or Twitters. And I don't really use Instagram anymore, but I probably should. And barring all that stuff, don't forget to like and share this video and subscribe if you haven't already. And do remember to send out. Let's one more check for comments. Bob the Raptor, right on, Joe. I'm hungry too. Bubba Nickel, good job. Thank you all very, very much. Something to build on for the next time. But anyway, like, share, subscribe. I think I still have that store on Spreadshirt. If you want to buy something there, go ahead. And I mean, it's not like I'm making any money off of YouTube anymore, not like I ever did. Yeah, I don't know if I should go off on that monetization crap, but yeah, everyone's had their 2 cents on it, so y'all know. But anyway, on that note, thank you very much for tuning in live. Thank you for giving me time of your, for lending some time on your Friday nights to watch a hapless idiot try to make ravioli and half succeed. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Hope to see you live next time. So now let me get my tabletto. And Bob the Raptor says, Hobo, by the way, we love your channel. Oh, I need to watch that. I need to watch your channel more often. Like I said, I haven't been into the whole food channel scene for a bit since I took some time off. I really need to get back into it. Especially your guys' stuff, because your guys' stuff is incredible. But anyway, I've said too much, or maybe I haven't. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Good night, everyone.